Okay, folks, the next matchup in this best of 5 series will be on the Tal'Darim altar. It's one apiece right now. Mana and White-Ra. Kicking it off right here in 3, 2, 1. Mark. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Shoutcraft Invitational, a bronze matchup right here between the one and only
TT Esports White-Ra.
He's in the red trunks and he's to the southwest versus his opponent
Mouz.Mana.
He is in the green trunks and he is to the northwest. Now we have seen that we've got one apiece, and Mana, his first attack was on 4-gate basis, and it didn't work. No, it did not. However, Mana was able to do quite well against White-Ra in a later game battle, and despite the Immortals, White-Ra actually had a slight economic disadvantage for most of that game, which seemed to play in Mana's favor to the point where Mana was able to eventually crush him. He had a 10 supply advantage, and also kept his Colossus alive, whereas the Colossus of his opponent White-Ra were taken out. And that, as they say, is that. Okay. Interested to see what ends up happening in this particular matchup. PvP is always entertaining. I am pretending, what can I say? Two great players. No doubt neither of them really enjoy PvP. I suppose I'm just thankful at this point that the finals will not be ZBZ, because I actually enjoy that. I don't know, I think I enjoyed it a bit more than PvP, but not by much. Not by much. There's only one really interesting mirror matchup to spectate, and that's Terran versus Terran at the moment. Let's see what Heart of the Swarm brings in that regard. Perhaps a little bit more variety on both fronts. Equal and, of course, mirror builds from both for the time being. We'll see who decides to 4-gate. They've got fairly close positions, for Tal'Darim at any rate. About as close as you get on Tal'Darim. Now, White-Ra's 4-gate, I would say, is better than Mana's 4-gate. Assuming that either of them decide to do that. We've seen White-Ra's 4-gate. It's extremely good. It's very well executed. Timing is perfect. Assimilator going down for Mana. That's going to be a second one, is it not? Yes, it is. That's a deviation. We're going to get a second Assimilator right here for White-Ra. Mana continues to scout. Second gateway coming down. I have to wonder, is he thinking, ooh, will it be a 4-gate? It might be. It's only one gas geyser, which generally indicates that. Not that it's impossible to simply take another one. You can do that. Nothing's stopping you, but right now that's what's happening. That's a general indicator. Keeping an eye on those minerals for the time being and seeing where things are going. That's a quick chrono boost right there. Second gateway down, and Mana is mining both, so I'd expect perhaps to see either Twilight Council or a Robotics. Robotics is likely. White-Ra with the second one up right there. Is he going to follow it up with anything more to the point? He doesn't really have the money to do so just yet. Continuing to chrono boost out that Warp Gate research. The 3 Stalker opening by the looks of it to counter a potential 4-gate from his opponent, but that's not going to happen. It's only 2. In fact, they're both doing the same damn thing. Oh, God. White-Ra with another gateway. What is he going to do? Is he going for the 4-gateway? He has the money for it. There it is. 4-gateway attack, makes sense. His opponent is going for the, by the looks of it, the 3 Stalker opening in order to try and deal with that, although he actually only has 1 Stalker right now. He will have momentarily. The thing is, 3 Stalker opening might not work out so well on Tal'Darim due to the distance. We'll find out, though. More Stalkers coming in here, so it will be 3 on 3. We've got the pylon. That is now complete. The 4-gateway is almost ready. Another gate coming down for Mana, needless to say, and now it's going to be a 4-gate versus 4-gate. However, White-Ra's 4-gate will be a little quicker. The probe taken out, a little unfortunate right there. White-Ra needing to get some forces together. There's the completion on the 4th gateway, as you can see. Warp Gate research now morphing in, and he has what he needs. Primarily Stalkers, I would imagine, will warp in to follow this one up. There's the next one, and you can see that there's a Stalker count advantage right here for White-Ra. He will need to get a closer proxy pylon. He's going to run that right into that. That was a little bit of a mess. A little bit unnecessary, I feel. Would have been unfortunate for Mouz.Mana if that probe were to get through. White-Ra now does not have an advantage anymore. Not in terms of his number count. Looking pretty good for Mana to actually hold this, but we'll find out. He does have some Zealots on the field now, so it depends when he decides to get aggressive. He can't get a pylon too close. Mana is effectively denying it, but I would think that that's going to end right about now. In the meantime, look at this. Mana did manage to sneak in a proxy pylon of his own right into the base of White-Ra. That's unpleasant. This may end up being a base trade scenario right here. A couple of Zealots in there. White-Ra warping in order to respond to that. Does White-Ra have the numbers that he needs to break this line? It's looking a little dodgy. I think he probably does, however. Pushing forward right now, and as he managed to clear up that Zealot, he hasn't yet. Big damage being done. White-Ra's taking huge economic losses, but he knows if he can clean up here, it'll be okay, but he can't. Mana is actually cleaning up. An additional warp-in is now annihilating White-Ra. That's huge damage done to the economy of both players, in fact. White-Ra is able to snipe off several probes of his own. 17 and 16 right now. And of course, those Zealots will finally be able to deny that warp-in right there. So that was perhaps the least decisive 4-gate I've ever seen from both of them. However, Mana is coming in with a counter-attack, and he does have a significant army supply advantage, as you can see. Early on in the game, he's got 6 Stalkers, and he's got a Zealot as well against 2 Zealot, 2 Stalker, which will only end one way unless White-Ra is able to get additional units on the field immediately. We'll have a look at units killed. You see right there, Mana has done slightly better. And more to the point, if you have a look at resources lost, White-Ra is behind by a good 1,000 resources. Not ideal. And Mana's going to back this one up with Blink. If he goes in there with a Blink Stalker force versus White-Ra, who doesn't have Blink, then that's pretty much game over right there. With Mana's Blink Stalker micromanagement, I don't think White-Ra will be able to hold it. And that's exactly what's about to happen. It's a good timing by the looks of it. He's got 9 Stalkers on the field. The Blink upgrade is about to complete. White-Ra is prepared. However, he doesn't quite have the unit count he really needs. There's the proxy pylon, 14 to 22, in Mana's favor at this time. White-Ra being driven back, and there's the Blink right here. Is he able to get the Zealots in? No, GG straight away. He knows it. GG. Blink versus no Blink. You know how it works. Second game for Mana, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, second game for Mana. And we'll be right back in just a few short moments with what could potentially be the final match in the bronze before we go through to the grand final.